In the world of high horology, the complications you normally think of are things like the perpetual calendar, split-second chronograph, maybe even the tourbillon. However, there's one complication or element of a watch that perhaps doesn't get as recognized as it should, especially when one considers how much knowledge and technical capacity a company needs to be able to make an ultra-thin watch. And no one knows ultra-thin watches better than Piaget. Since 1957, they've been making some of the thinnest watches in the industry. And that is, of course, their well-known Altiplano. This modern iteration is an evolution of what was created in 1957. Now, the original model in 1957 had a movement that was only 2.3 millimeters thick. The overall watch was under 7 millimeters thick. However, this new version takes that to another level. Measuring only 6.6 millimeters thick, the modern Altiplano still manages to achieve what its original forebear did, an extremely thin dress watch that still has creature comforts like running seconds and a display caseback, both of which were absent from the original. But more than anything, this follows the tradition and the idea that a dress watch specifically should be thin so that it can be discreet. And nothing is more discreet than a watch that can just disappear under the wrist. You can see even on my wrist that the strap is probably thicker than the watch itself. There are hairs on my wrist that reach higher than this watch on my wrist. And that is just really testament to what Piaget has been able to achieve, because they've managed to still take what the original Altiplano did, but they've managed to bring it in using modern techniques, and they haven't sacrificed when it comes to the decoration of the movement either. It's a beautiful movement to behold, and still at less than 3 millimeters thick, it is extremely, extremely thin. However, since 2014, there has been a new contender for the throne of the king of thinnest watches, and that is Bulgari with the Octo Finissimo. The company made waves by taking the Octa design, which originated from the Gerald Genta brand, and shrinking it down to only 6.4 millimeters thick. So while this Piaget, for example, is 6.6 millimeters, this is thinner. But there's much more to it, because Bulgari with the Octo Finissimo decided that they didn't want to make compromises when it came to practicality. This model, introduced in 2020, is fully rendered in steel, has a full bracelet, 100 meters water resistance, and is still automatic, thanks to the clever use of a micro rotor, as well as by spreading out the movement across the entirety of the back of the case. So really what Bulgari has done is they've evolved the notion of an ultra-thin watch from being something reserved for a dress watch, and instead what they've done is they've created an ultra-thin sports watch. The two of these represent a completely different ethos when it comes to what an ultra-thin watch should be. One of them is steeped in tradition. It leans on its historical value, and it's been doing the same thing for over 50 years, so they know what they're doing in creating a watch like this. On the other hand, the Bulgari takes a no-compromise approach. They want a watch that you can wear every day, but that will still disappear under a cuff on demand. Measuring only 6.4 millimeters thick, it's a true modern marvel, and it really is a mission statement from Bulgari to show that they are to be taken seriously as a watchmaker, as much as they are as a jewelry maker as well. And luckily here at Chronext, we have both of these two different approaches to an ultra-thin watch. So let me know in the comments below, which of these do you prefer? Do you prefer the traditional approach, the idea that an ultra-thin watch and a dress watch are synonymous? Or do you prefer the more modern approach, that you don't have to sacrifice practicality or informality for having an ultra-thin watch? You can have something that is truly an all-rounder that will disappear under a cuff when you need it to, but at the same time is a watch you can wear every day when you don't mind it being seen. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, then make sure you like it and share it. If you want to see more videos about watches, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as well so you know when the next video comes out. But in any case, thanks for joining us on this quick overview of two of the thinnest watches available in the industry, as well as two truly modern marvels when it comes to horology. We'll catch you on the next one.